Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2017 NCAA Division III Baseball Mid-Atlantic Regional at Peoples Bank Park in York, Pennsylvania. Game 11 of the tournament features the Wheaton Lions and the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. As a reminder to all spectators, please be alert at all times during today's games. Baseballs can accidentally fly into the seating areas. Be alert to the action. The NCAA and the Mid-Atlantic Conference want everyone to have a safe and enjoyable day watching the best college baseball in the nation. Thank you. And now the starting lineups for today's game, starting with the visiting team, the Wheaton Lions. Batting first and playing shortstop, number 1, Josh LaJoy. Batting second, the center fielder, number 11, Matt Cook. Batting third, the left fielder, number 9, Jared Sharkey. Batting fourth, the right fielder, number 4, Zach Goodwin-Boyd. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 16, Tyler Walsh. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 15, Nick Raposo. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 19, Joe Santagate. Batting eighth, the third baseman, number 23, Willie Boyd. And batting ninth, the second baseman, number 12, Chris Ruaco. Pitching for the Lions, number 39, Brady Forden. The head coach of Wheaton is Eric Pavelski. Assistant coaches are Frank Holbrook, Pete Pascarosa, Matt Milano, and Jimmy Smith. And now for the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. Batting first, the shortstop, number 2, Connor Reynolds. Batting second, the right fielder, number 1, Brian Lynn. Batting third, the third baseman, number 3, Mike Smith. Batting fourth, the catcher, number 24, Ryan Orgalevich. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 20, Joe Coughlin. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 10, Alex Starwich. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 7, Mike Eberly. Batting eighth, the center fielder, number 9, Tommy Mead. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 27, John Hayden. Pitching for the Blue Jays, number 8, Preston Betts. The head coach of Johns Hopkins is Bob Babb. Assistant coaches are Jonas Fester, Gabby Castellano, Andrew Furman, Ryan Graves, and Adam Lenoff. Ladies and gentlemen, the umpires for today's game. At first base, Paul Thompson. At second base, Jeff Arthur. At third base, Bill Rush. And behind home plate, Dan Miller.
Howdy folks, Harrison Swartz here, back at Peoples Bank Park for Game 3 on Day 3 of the Mid-Atlantic Regional Baseball Tournament. It's Johns Hopkins, the top seed, hosting the, visitors for this game, 3-seeded Wheaton from Massachusetts. Preston Betts is on the mound for Hopkins in Game 1. He is warming up. We'll take a look at the Lions lineup, 1 through 9, real quick as he is getting ready. 1 through 9, Josh LaJoy will lead things off. He's at shortstop. Matt Cook will bat second and play center field. Jared Sharkey will bat third. He's out in left. Zach Goodwin-Boyd, the cleanup man today, will play right field. Tyler Walsh will bat fifth and play first base. Nick Raposo, the DH, will bat sixth. Joe Santagate behind the plate will bat seventh. Willie Boyd is at third base. He'll hit eighth. And Chris Ruaco will round out this Lions lineup and plays second base. Preston Betts, a .284 earned run average on the year, 44 and a third innings pitched, 40 hits, 20 runs, 14 earned, and he sports a record of 5-1. Opponents hitting .253 against the sophomore from Plano, Texas. He's a graduate of Plano West Senior High School. In steps Josh LaJoy. First pitch fastball outside, and we are underway at 4:20. So yesterday, Hopkins played in Game 3. That game began at 6:30. Now today, 10 minutes ahead of schedule. 1-0 outside again. 2-0 the count. Preston appearing in his 12th game on the mound this year, making his 7th start. The 2-0 is a fastball again. It misses up 3-0. He's making his first career start in an NCAA regional game. He has one prior appearance. It came last year in a regional. Taking all the way was LaJoy. There's a strike at the knees, 3-1. In that ball game, an 8-5 Hopkins loss against Worcester, he went an inning and 2/3, gave up 1 hit and 1 run. That one hits the outer edge for strike 2, and the count runs full. LaJoy hitting .345 on the year. Team leader in hits with 59. 3-2. Fouled back out of play on the right side. Last time out for Preston, he got a start in the Centennial Conference Championship game against Ursinus College. He went just 4 2/3 that day, giving up 7 hits and 3 earned runs. He struck out 6. This one again fouled out of play on the right side. LaJoy, a senior from Somers, Connecticut, a graduate of Avon Old Farms High School. He's 4 for 8 so far in the regional, and he'll walk and get on base to begin the day for the Lions offensively. Umpires for today's game: behind the plate, Mr. Dan Miller. At first base, Mr. Paul Thompson. At second base, Mr. Jeff Arthur. And at third base, Mr. Bill Rush. So the sophomore bats will work out of the stretch. Matt Cook stands in. He's out in center field today for the Lions. A lefty hitting .295. He shows bunt, and it's laid down foul on the left side. Defense behind Betts today, left to right in the outfield. Same as the last 2 ball games, a trio of seniors for Johns Hopkins. John Hayden in left, Tommy Mee in center, Brian Lynn in right. In the infield left to right, it goes Mike Smith, Connor Reynolds, Mike Eberly, Joe Conlon, and behind the plate, Ryan Orgalevich. He DH'd last night as Betts makes a move to first base. Orgalevich caught the first ball game for Hopkins back on Thursday against Leslie University. Speaking of Leslie, just eliminated prior to this ball game's beginning. Lost 4-1 to Shenandoah. There's been 2 elimination games so far today. Elizabethtown eliminated by Alvernia this morning, and then Shenandoah over Leslie. Excuse me. Yes, over Leslie. This one bunted back to the screen, and the count goes to 0-2. Cook 28 for 95 at the plate this year. Junior from Harwich, Massachusetts. Conlon holding on the runner at first. He shows bunt with 2 strikes. Smith, the third baseman, coming in, and Betts will step off the rubber. The Blue Jay defense behind Betts committed 3 errors yesterday in their 13-9 win against Alvernia. Shows bunt, puts it up in the air, foul, and that's going to be an out. 1 away here in the top of the first. Jared Sharkey will stand in with 1 on and 1 away. Double play depth for Hopkins. Just getting started here at top of the first. Pitch from Betts outside, 1-0. Betts on the year, 5-1. His lone loss came against Worcester back on March 24th on Hopkins' spring break trip to Fort Myers, Florida. Grounded left side, that's a base hit through the hole, right in between Mike Smith and Connor Reynolds. Jared Sharkey begins his day 1 for 1, picks up his 53rd hit of the year. 2-1 in the first for Wheaton. Zach Goodwin-Boyd, the right fielder, will stand in now. An RBI opportunity early on for the Lions. Well, in game 1 for Wheaton, back on Thursday, they defeated Elizabethtown 8-6. First pitch from Betts, right there with the heater. 84 miles per hour, there's strike one. 13 pitches for Betts here in the first. And then yesterday, the late game last night, the ball game that did not end until around 1 a.m., maybe even later than that, they blanked Shenandoah 6-0. Breaking ball hit out to center field. Tommy Mee playing in, has to go back on it, makes the grab. Tagging up from second base, heading to third is Josh LaJoy. He'll get there standing. And now 2 away. Sharkey stays at first. Now Tyler Walsh will stand in. Hopkins looking for a long outing from Betts today. They haven't gotten much from their starters through 2 games. Alex Ross against Leslie went just 4. And yesterday, Nick Bodner threw 50 pitches in an inning and a third and was pulled. There's the bullpen the rest of the way for the Blue Jays. First pitch breaking ball in at the belt for a strike. May have hit the outer edge there, 0-1. About a 13 or 14 mile per hour difference between Preston's fastball and his curveball. Walsh hitting .282 on the year, 0-1. That looks like a slider, and that hits the outside corner for strike 2. Walsh back-to-back 2-hit games for him in the regional, 4 for 9 overall. He struck out twice last night against Shenandoah. 0-2. Breaking ball low and away. Good take by Walsh. He's sitting at 9 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs on the year. As a team, Wheaton hitting .287. 410 hits on the year. 1-2. Foul tip, held on by Orgalevich. Preston Betts picks up his second strikeout of the inning, and the Lions strand 2. Jays coming to bat for the first time in the bottom of the first in a scoreless ball game here at Peoples Bank Park. Bottom 1 here at Peoples Bank Park, a 0-0 game, Wheaton and Johns Hopkins. Harrison Swartz with you. Glad you can join us today. Bit of a chilly day here in York, PA. The last couple of days, it's hit 90. We've had some sun. We've had some rain here and there. We had a 40-minute rain delay yesterday at one point. We've had pretty much everything weather-wise during this regional. Some thunderstorms on the first night in the area. It didn't affect us. But today, about 60 degrees, cloudy, breezy. The wind blowing in after it blew straight out the last 2 days. Brady Furdon on the mound for Wheaton, making his 11th start of the year, a .368 ERA. Opponents hitting .261 against the righty. 63 2/3 innings of work this year. He's 4-2. Nice strikeout to walk ratio. 42 strikeouts, just 10 walks. First pitch, the leadoff man, Connor Reynolds, will miss low and in, 1-0. Furdon stands at 6'2", 230 pounds. Junior from Natick, Massachusetts, and Reynolds is a strike there, 1-1. The junior on the year has allowed 63 hits, just under 1 per inning. Reynolds bounces one foul in front of his head coach, Bob Babb, down at third. Across from Babb, first base coach Gabby Castellano. Babb in his 38th year at the helm, Castellano in his 12th. 1-2 the count to Reynolds, hitting .377 on the year. This one lined towards the gap in left center. That is down for a hit, and in between Sharkey and Cook. Reynolds with some speed will glide into second base standing. A leadoff double. He picks up his 17th team-leading 17th two-bagger on the year. Rest of the lineup behind Reynolds. Brian Lynn will stand in now. He's followed by Mike Smith, Ryan Orgalevich, Joe Conlon, Alex Starwich, Mike Eberle, Tommy Mee, and John Hayden. Same guys, different order all 3 days for Bob Babb. Hopkins 38-6 on the year, a 21-game win streak. We'll talk more about that win streak in a bit. Brian Lynn, the switch hitter, will begin his day from the left side. Only one at bat from the right side during this regional. First pitch to him on the outer edge for strike one. Brian hitting .343. 60 hits on the year, good for second on the team, only behind Ryan Orgalevich, who has 69. Long look back to second, now the 0-1. Swung over top of and missed by Lynn. 0-2. Last time out for Ferdon was April 29th at Babson. In the conference tournament, he went 6 2/3 that day. Lynn, swing and a miss, an awkward swing. I don't think he wanted to go after that one, but decided a bit too late and looked kind of awkward, swinging right through that one. He goes down on 3 pitches. Ferdon picks up his 43rd strikeout of the season. One down, in steps Mike Smith. Defense behind Ferdon, left to right in the outfield, Jared Sharkey, Matt Cook, Zach Goodwin-Boyd. Left to right in the infield, Willie Boyd, Josh LaJoy, Chris Ruocco, and Tyler Walsh. And his battery mate today, Joe Santagate. Swing and a miss, a big cut from Mike Smith. 0-1. But in that start against Babson, that day he allowed 3 home runs. He's allowed 7 on the year. 5 have come over his last 2 starts. Mike rounds one foul behind his head coach. Quickly 0-2. Now that day he gave up 6 earned runs in the 6-4 loss to Babson. Wheaton swept by Babson that day. Kind of backed their way into the regional tournament. Got a 3 seed as an at-large. 0-2. That one will bounce in, blocked by Santagate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Smith, a .362 mark on the year. He's hit out of the 3 spot in every ball game this year he has started in. 1-2 on the way. Bounced foul over towards Ryan Orgalevich in the on-deck circle. The catcher can't handle it cleanly. Mike last night delivered the base hit up the middle against Alvernia that gave his team the lead 10-9 in the top of the 9th. Hopkins were down 9-7 entering the 9th inning. Put up a 6 spot and won that game 13-9. Kept themselves away from the losers bracket, at least for another day. 1-2 again, low and inside, about ankle high to Smith. 2-2. That was his lone hit last night. Went 1 for 5 against the Crusaders. The Crusaders threw everybody at Hopkins. Dylan Dunn got the start for them, then 5 relievers after him. Couple looks back to second. 2-2 coming home. Again, low and inside. 3-2. So Ferdon got ahead of Brian Lynn, 0-2, struck him out. Got ahead of Mike Smith, 0-2. Smith's battled off a couple pitches, now in a full count. Connor Reynolds remains out at second base. He doubled to begin the frame. Payoff pitch, breaking ball, called strike 3 on the inside corner. And Mike thought he had ball 4. That looked to be just a bit inside, but still a nasty curveball from Ferdon. And we have 2 away. Back-to-back strikeouts for the righty. He has 44 on the season. In steps Ryan Orgalevich, who's having an MVP type of year, MVP type of tournament here at Peoples Bank Park. Hitting .397. He has 12 home runs. 3 of them have come here at Peoples Bank Park. 1 on Thursday, 2 last night. Home run cut there, comes up empty. 0-1. We're scoreless here in the bottom of the first. Each team with a hit in their half of the inning. Wheaton got a man to third, could not convert. Hopkins, a man on second base right now. 0-1 the count to Orgalevich. Spinning a turn to second base, and Reynolds slides back in. Count 0-1, it remains. Now, Ryan yesterday, if you go back through his line, first at bat, a 2-run shot in the first against Alvernia. Then he doubled in the third, an opposite field home run in the fifth, a bases-loaded walk in the seventh, intentionally walked in the eighth, and came up with the bases loaded in the ninth, hit a fly ball out to center field. It was flat-out dropped by Colin Rieger, the Crusaders center fielder, and the bases, which were loaded, everyone came in to score. Ryan ended up at third base. They ruled that one a sacrifice fly and an error that allowed 2 runs to score. So a 5 RBI ball game for Ryan. 1-1 will miss low on the heater at 83. Ferdon approaching 20 pitches. Orgalevich now in a hitter's count. He has 5 hits in the tournament, 7 RBIs total. Puts this one up in the air to right field. Coming in on it, Goodwin Boyd. Near the foul line, he will not catch up to it. It lands down near the bullpen. And the count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hopkins, the home team for the second time in this regional. They were the home team on day 1 against Leslie. And Alvernia, the home team against Hopkins last night. Now back in that third base side dugout on a chilly Saturday evening in York. 2-2, 2 away. Fouled back to the screen. '27th career start today for Brady Ferdon. 30th game he's appeared in over his career. A lifetime record of 15-5. 2-2 coming in. That will bounce in. And the count runs full 3-2. A career ERA for him of 3.57. As a freshman, made 6 starts. ERA was 3.67. Last year, 10 starts, 3.39 ERA. And this year, making his 11th start, so career high, his ERA is 3.68. 3-2 pitch. Line to right field. That is trouble. It's down and into the corner. Hopkins has the lead. Orgalevich rounding first, heading towards second base. The throw's cut off. Another extra base hit for Orgalevich. Is there anybody that can cool this kid's bat down? 6 hits in the tournament. 4 of the 6 are extra base hits. Picks up his team-leading 53rd RBI, and Hopkins, for the second straight day, jump ahead in the first inning. They're on top 1-0. 16th double for Orgalevich. The Blue Jays have 106 two-baggers on the year. In steps Joe Conlon, hit out of the 9 spot last night. It's a fastball low and outside here, 1-0. Conlon a 327 mark. 32 hits on the year. Tied his career high in hits for a game yesterday with 4. A couple of doubles for him off the arch nemesis in left. Takes this one the opposite way in deep. Going back Jared Sharkey, but he has it lined up. And the left fielder makes the grab. The inning is over. But not before Ryan Orgalevich lines one out to right field. An RBI double into the corner. Scores Connor Reynolds, who doubled himself. Blue Jays lead 1-0 as we head to the second inning here at Peoples Bank Park.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Nick Raposo will get the top of the second started for Wheaton. They trail 1-0. Preston Betts back out to work here. He'll face Raposo. And then the catcher, Joe Santagate. And then third baseman, Willie Boyd. Fastball low here, 1-0. In the top of the first inning, Preston walked a batter, struck out 2, gave up a hit. The Lions stranded 2 on. This one grounded up the middle. Reynolds and Eberle cannot catch up to it. A base hit. Wheaton has their second of the day. The Raposo picks up hit number 40 this year. And in each of the 2 innings today, Wheaton gets the leadoff man aboard. Joe Santagate will stand in now. A senior from Staten Island. First pitch, just a bit outside, 1-0. 2 for 8, a double, a couple of strikeouts in the regional so far. Has recorded 1 hit in each ball game against both Shenandoah and Elizabethtown. Bats from the stretch, kicks and comes home. This one hit high in the air out to left field. Hayden, easy play for him, glides to his right and makes the grab, 1 away. Willie Boyd will stand in now. Just a 204 mark for him. No home runs, 5 RBIs, just 11 hits on the year. It's a fastball here at 84 for strike 1. Next pitch, number 25 for Betts. They said Betts out of Plano, Texas, from the class of 2015, a perfect game underclass All-American honorable mention as both a junior and senior. That one will miss up and away, 1-1. He was ranked the 109th best right-handed pitcher in the state of Texas. 298th best overall. 1-1 outside. As a senior, he also ranked in the top 22 among Texas 6A pitchers. Him and his teammate, fellow sophomore Harrison Folk, a couple of Dallas area kids. Quick move to first base, and back in is Raposo. Betts on his second regional roster for Hopkins. He, of course, was not here in 2015 when the Blue Jays were in the Mid-Atlantic Regional. 2-1. Grounded off the leg of Betts and into left field. Ricochets his way, right where Connor Reynolds would be playing straight up. But he was going up the middle to try to field that baseball, and it took a bad hop for Hopkins, a lucky hop for Wheaton, and they have 2 men on base with 1 away. So Willie Boyd picks up a hit, and will bring up Chris Ruaco. Ruaco really in his first year as a starter, hadn't cracked 20 games in a year prior to this season, now a junior for Wheaton. First pitch, breaking ball up and away, 1-0. Ruocco 1 for 2 last night. Fouls one back here and back out of play. Just 4 teams remaining in this Mid-Atlantic Regional. 3 of the 4 bottom seeds eliminated, 1 of the 4 top gone. That would be RIT. Called strike on the outer edge, 1-2. RIT was the first to go. That came in the morning game yesterday. That took 15 innings to complete. Leslie won that one 6-5. And SUNY Maritime was defeated right after them by Elizabethtown 13-5. Line to left field. There's a base hit. Hayden gets to it, gets it back in quickly. And the bases will be loaded for the Lions. 3 singles in the second. Raposo at third, Boyd at second base, Ruocco now with a base hit. We head back to the top of the Lions batting order in Josh LaJoy. He walked back in the first. For Wheaton, he's the guy at the plate you want with the bases loaded. 40th game of the season for him, meaning he's played 40 games in each of his 4 years at Wheaton. A 4-year guy for Eric Podbelski. First pitch to him, breaking ball. Look out, that one up and in. 1-0. 23 RBIs on the year for him. Big spot for the Lions. Trailing 1-0. They are out hitting the Blue Jays 4-2. 1-0. A fastball at the knees for a strike. We mentioned Betts gave up 7 hits in his last outing. The outing before that, his last win, came on April 29th at Dickinson. He went 6 innings that day and allowed just 2 hits. 1-1, lifted in the air, foul. Had a play off to the right. 1-2. Double play ball ends the inning. Wheaton's hit into 24 twin killings this year. Matchup number 6 all time between these two teams. 1-2. Just a bit outside. That's where Orgolevich was set up. Betts hit it. No chase, though, from LaJoy. He has 1 RBI in this regional, 4 hits. 6-game hit streak going on for him. 2-2 on the way. Fastball, that's low and outside. 3-2. No place to put him. Betts has to throw a strike. He walked on a 3-2 pitch back in the first. Long look in from Betts. Big hole on the right side. Payoff pitch coming. Fastball. Fights it off to stay alive. Lines it out foul on the right. Now, during that 6-game hit streak for LaJoy, 4 2-hit games over that stretch. He's a career .306 hitter, this year being his best mark at .345. 3-2 pitch. Bounce left side, could be 2. Reynolds, the flip to Eberle. The relay can't be handled by Conley. That's going to skip away and head into the stands. Wheaton's going to take the lead. Two runs come in to score. Down to second base goes LaJoy. Ruocco, the only one out there. And the inning continues for the Lions. Big break for Wheaton. I think Eberle had time to set his feet and make a more accurate throw. Looked to rush that one a bit. Matt Cook will stand in now. 2 away, a man in scoring position. First pitch. Popped up. Foul ground, left side. Reynolds giving chase, as is Mike Smith. And that one's going to land about 5 rows up in the stands. 0-1. So Raposo and Boyd score there. Again, Ruoko, the force out, 6-4. And it looks as though they ruled that one a hit for LaJoy. I don't believe that should be a hit. That's a fielder's choice. Inside corner, called strike, 0-2. Breaking ball, bouncing right side. Eberly fields. On to first, nearly pulls Conlon off the bag, but he keeps his foot on, and the inning is over. Wheaton scores 2. LaJoy puts it in play, nearly hit into a twin killing. A fielder's choice and a throwing error allow 2 runs to score. Wheaton, after 1.5 on top of Hopkins, 2-1 here at Peoples Bank Park. Bottom 2. For the third straight day here in York, PA, Hopkins will try to come from behind. They trail 2-1. Alex Starwich will get things started. First pitch, hit high in the air, deep left field. Going back, Jared Sharkey at the warning track. He's called off by Matt Cook, and the center fielder runs it down. Darwich gave it a ride, but it hung up long enough for the center fielder to run it down. He covered quite a bit of ground right there. One away. In steps Mike Eberly. Eberly with 4 hits in the regional, hedges 2 in the Centennial Conference Tournament. Fastball low, 1 ball and no strikes. We bring up the comeback possibility for Hopkins just because it's happened so often. Taking the opposite way foul, 1-1. I mentioned earlier they had that 21-game win streak. During that streak, they have come from behind in 17 of those games, including the 5-run deficit last night to Alvernia and a 1-0 deficit to Leslie on Thursday. Count 2-1 to Eberly. Fouls it back to the screen. And that 5-run comeback yesterday was tied for the largest of the year for the Blue Jays. The other one came on March 5th against then second-ranked Keystone College. Bouncing ball left side. Josh LaJoy to his right. Will field and on to first base. 2 away. And I believe that one was actually cut off by Willie Boyd. Nice play by the third baseman. 5-3 put out, 2 gone. Tommy Mee stands in now. He was in the 5 spot yesterday. Moved down to the 8 hole today. First pitch, a slider there at 74. Will miss low and away. 1-0. Ferdon looking for a quick 1-2-3 second. 1-0 to Tommy, fouled back out of play. Tommy hitting .339 on the year. 1 hit shy of 40. 13 extra base hits this year. 7 doubles, a triple, and 5 home runs. Only one of those 5 home runs have come away from Stromberg Stadium, where the Blue Jays play in Baltimore. 2-1. This one fouled back out of play. 2-2. Tommy, an 0 for 6 at the plate last night. Snapped his 8-game hit streak and his 6-game stretch of scoring in a game. He had scored in 9 of 10 entering last night's contest. Line to right field, but into the glove of Chris Ruocco, and it's a 1-2-3, bottom of the second for Brady Furdon. 2-1 Wheaton as we head to the 3rd inning here at Peoples Bank Park. Top 3 here in York, PA. Harrison Swartz, as you're sticking around for the 2017 Mid-Atlantic Regional Baseball Tournament. Top-seeded Johns Hopkins trails the 3-seed Wheaton 2-1. Preston Betts back out to work. Will face the heart of this Wheaton lineup. First pitch, breaking ball in for a strike. Jared Sharkey, a 1-for-1 on the day, singled back in the first. After him, Zach Goodwin-Boyd and Tyler Walsh. 0-1 hit high in the air, deep left field. Hayden turns and watches this one sail out of here over top of the arch nemesis. A home run for Sharkey, his 5th of the year. A 2-for-2 day, and Wheaton now leads 3-1. 23rd home run for Wheaton on the year. For Betts, just the 2nd he's allowed. The other one came on April 9th when he started against McDaniel College in Baltimore. First home run Hopkins pitching has allowed this tournament. They've hit 3 themselves. This one fouled straight back, 0-1 for Zach Goodwin-Boyd. With that one a no-doubter off the bat. Hayden, the left fielder, helpless there. Had to just turn and watch it leave. 1-1. All 3 leadoff hitters have now reached for Wheaton. LaJoy back in the first. Raposo in the second. As this one's ripped to right field, there's a base hit. And now Sharkey in the third. That's going to get the Blue Jay bullpen up and moving around. Six hits on the evening now for Wheaton. And out is pitching coach Ryan Graves. We'll take a look around the regional tournaments today. A big upset down in the south. 6-seeded Roanoke defeated the number 1 team in the country, LaGrange, 5-2. Oswego State, the top seed in Syracuse, the New York region, they beat Southern Maine 6-4. North Central defeated Birmingham Southern 5-0. Just 11 combined hits in that game. And right now, Salisbury playing in an elimination game in Danville, Virginia against Rowan. They trail Rowan 5-4. TCNJ trails Ithaca in Syracuse 6-4. And Wash U and Wartburg are scoreless in the third inning, as are DePaul and Worcester. They are scoreless, just getting underway at Ross Memorial Park in Washington, PA, the Mid-East Regional Tournament. That's an elimination game as well. Tyler Walsh, 0 for 1, struck out to end the first inning. Pitch to him, bounced left side, could be 2. Reynolds, the flip to Eberle, the relay. This time it's picked out by Conlon, and it's a double play. 40th double play turned by Johns Hopkins this year. 25th Wheaton's hit into. It erases the single by Zach Goodwin-Boyd. And apparently there was an illegal slide at second base that would have ruled Tyler Walsh out at first base anyway. The pitch to Raposo popped up right side. This should end the inning. First baseman Conlon is under it, now in foul ground, makes the grab, and the inning ends. Wheaton picks up one, though. Jared Sharkey hits one over top of the arch nemesis out towards Arch Street. After 2.5, Wheaton on top 3-1 here at Peoples Bank Park. All right, folks, here we go. Bottom 3 in York, PA. It's going to be John Hayden, Connor Reynolds, and Brian Lynn, 9, 1, and 2. John Hayden moves down to the 9 spot in this ball game. Rough night for him last night. Out of the 6 hole, he went 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Got the golden sombrero. First pitch to the senior left fielder. From Brady Ferdon, swung on and fouled to the backstop, 0-1. John, a .253 hitter on the year. 22 hits, 3 of them home runs. This one line foul down the line at third. Down towards the Blue Jay bullpen. 0-2. Top of the order on deck for Johns Hopkins. Oh, 2. Outside. We talked about all those scores the last inning during that pitching, or the mound visit, I beg your pardon, and not many 1 seeds are left undefeated. This one taken the opposite way into the corner. There's a base hit for John Hayden. Big turnaround first base. He will retreat back to the bag. A leadoff hit for Johns Hopkins. That's their 3rd of the evening. So Hayden will pick up his 2nd hit of the tournament. The other one a double that came on Thursday against Leslie. I believe the only other number 1 seed in a regional that hasn't lost a game yet is UMass Boston. First pitch to Reynolds, breaking ball in for a strike, 0-1. He doubled and scored back in the first inning. Speaking of UMass Boston, they're getting their game underway against Suffolk up in Harwich, Massachusetts. Fastball low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Reynolds has now reached base safely in 35 straight games. Moved to first base. Back in is Wheaton. It's the longest stretch for the Blue Jays right now. Now, this time last year, Hopkins was out in the Mid-East Regional, and they played a team from Worcester that has a guy there named Jamie Lackner. Lackner, this time last year, had a 91-game reached base streak. Reynolds bounces one off his foot foul. That one trickles to the mound, but immediately called by Dan Miller, the home plate umpire, and the count goes to 1-2. Just so happened that Lackner had that streak end the very next day. 91 games in a row he reached base. It's a kid that could definitely play professionally. Now a senior over there. They've got one of the more dangerous offenses in D3 baseball, featuring a couple All-Americans, Lackner and their shortstop, Michael Wilansky. 1-2. Reynolds bounces one into the seats. Couple rows up. "28 of Reynolds' 56 hits this year are extra base hits after that double in the first inning. He takes a fastball low here, 2-2. 45 pitches now for Brady Furdon. Nine-game hit streak as well now for Reynolds. Pitch coming home. Grounded right side. Diving stop by Chris Ruocco. He's up with it. The low throw picked out by Walsh to get Reynolds. What a play, 4-3. Robs Reynolds of a base hit. Hayden gets to second base, but you keep the speedster off the bags. Now one down with a man in scoring position. Hopkins looking to respond with at least one after Wheaton scored 2 in the second and one more on that home run in the third. Brian Lynn will stand in again from the left side. 0 for 1. He struck out on 3 pitches back in the first. That one low and outside. He won't strike out on 3 pitches here. 1-0. Against righties, his batting average .331 on the season. Much better mark against lefties, though, at .378. Spinning a look back to second base, where Hayden's hanging out, no throw. Brian Lynn, one of 2 Jays to be given COSIDA honors in 2017. The other one, relief pitcher Harrison Folk. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Lynn nowhere near that one. 1-1. In order to get COSIDA honors, you must be a prominent player with a 3.3 GPA. Something you'd expect a neuroscience major at Johns Hopkins to receive on a yearly basis. Ground ball right side. Down to one knee is Walsh. The first baseman takes it to the bag himself for out number 2. Hayden heads down to third base. It's up to Mike Smith to bring in that run. Wheaton on top, 3-1, bottom 3. Hopkins has outscored their opponents in the third inning so far this tournament, 3-1. They put up 3 against Leslie. The solo blast off the bat of Jared Sharkey in this one. That one will bounce in, blocked by Santagate. 1-0. Pretty big backstop here. Lots of distance between the catcher and the backstop. Smith struck out looking back in the first. Thought he had ball 4 on a 3-2 pitch. Dangerous hitter on deck in Ryan Orgalevich. 1-0. Low and outside. 2-0 the count. Tough spot here for Furdon with Orgalevich on deck. You have 2 away with a man in scoring position. Do you want to face the catcher with 2 on and 2 out? You want to throw to Mike Smith? Well, there he gives him one to hit, and he swings right through it. 2-1. You don't want to elongate the inning. Swing and a miss. 2-2, and now he's coming after him. Smith with 34 RBIs on the year. The Centennial Conference first-teamer looking to come through clutch here in the third. And he cannot. Swing and a miss. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts today. Ferdon fell behind 2-0, comes back with 3 straight fastballs, and Smith swung and missed at all 3. Jays leave a man at third base. Through 3, Wheaton on top 3-1 here at Peoples Bank Park.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Well, Preston Betts back out to work the top of the fourth for Johns Hopkins. He'll face the bottom third of the Lions order. Joe Santagate, Willie Boyd, and Chris Ruocco. A combined 2 for 3 against the Blue Jay starter, their first time through. There is some double barrel action going on in the Hopkins bullpen, while the Lions bullpen is quiet as of now. First pitch will miss low and outside, 1-0. Joe Santagate, a fly ball out to left back in the second. That 2-run second for Wheaton. Batting for the second time today here in the fourth. Lifts one in the air out to right field. Brian Lynn to his right is under it. Makes the grab, 1 away. Couple of fly ball outs for Santagate today. He's 0 for 2. We mentioned earlier this is the 6th time these two teams have met. The last time they met was back in 2009. They've met in 04, 05, 07, 08, and 09. Each time came on the two teams' spring break trips. This one lifted foul and in the air, left side, and back into the seats, 0-1. Now they've met down in Florida twice, 04 and 05. Each of those 2 years, Hopkins blew out the Lions. The first year, 17-4. The second time, 13-0. The previous 3 times they met, out in Arizona. A called strike here, 0-2. And each of those 3 games out in Arizona, I should say, Wheaton put up double-digit runs. This one lifted in the air to center field. Tommy Mee is there. Comes back in on it, makes the grab. Back-to-back fly ball outs, 2 away. Well, that's 4 in a row retired by Betts. Looking for a quick frame of his own. Just over 50 pitches now. Chris Ruocco, a 1 for 1. Fouled back. 0-1. So the last time these two teams met, all these guys were probably in middle school, I'd imagine. Middle school sounds about right. This one driven out to shallow right field. Eberle comes in on it. Second baseman is under it. About a step or 2 into the grass in right field. Makes the grab, and Preston Betts has his first clean inning of the day. We're through 3.5. Wheaton leads 3-1. All right, folks, here we go. Ryan Orgalevich will stand in to begin the bottom of the fourth. Blue Jays trailing 3-1. They've been out hit by Wheaton 6-3. The Blue Jays have an error. Wheaton clean defensively. Big swing and a miss there. And the count is 0-1. Orgalevich, then Joe Conlon, and Alex Darwich. 4, 5, and 6 for Hopkins. Ferdon has not allowed a run since the first. Orgalevich just gets a piece and taps it to the backstop. 0-2. RBI double for him into the right field corner back in the first. Responsible for the only Blue Jay run. Brought in Connor Reynolds from second base. And he fouls this one back and out of play. 0-2. 70 hits for him on the year now. Well beyond his previous career high entering this season at 26. That'll bounce in. 1-2. Orgalevich had 6 hits as a freshman. Only 45 at bats, but the last 2 years a regular in Bob Babb's lineup. 25 hits and then 26. This one bounced foul. Hits off the front of the Blue Jay dugout on the third base side. So entering this year, he had 57 career hits. So surpassing that in one season here. Maybe a candidate for Mid-Atlantic Player of the Year. 1-2. Hit out towards left center field. This one is falling, and it will be caught. Shoestring grab by Jarrett Sharkey. Covered a lot of ground to get to that one. And we have one away. Boy, that ball just kept dying, and Sharkey nearly let that ball fall to the ground, got to it, and now one away. The Orgalevich 1 for 2. Joe Conlon will stand in. Fly ball out to left field himself. He's gone that way quite often the last couple of ball games. Swing and a miss here. 0-1. So it had been quite a while for Ferdon since his last start on April the 29th. That'll miss low and outside. 1-1. So well rested, and he's pitching much better today than his last few starts have shown. You remember we said earlier he gave up 5 home runs over his last 2 outings entering today. Count goes to 2-1. Third ball game of 4 today here in day 3 at Peoples Bank Park. 2-1 into Conlon. Swing and a miss. 2-2. The first one today was Alvernia and Elizabethtown. 10 a.m. this morning, Alvernia won that one easily, 11-1. And right before us, Shenandoah defeated Leslie 4-1. Conlon goes down looking. Fastball in the inside corner. He knew it right away. Heads right back to the Blue Jay dugout. He's 0 for 2, and there are 2 away. 4th strikeout for Ferdon. He had 2 in the first, got 1 in the third, now 1 here in the fourth. He's retired 5 in a row since the John Hayden single to lead off the third inning. There's a called strike to Darwich, 0-1. Darwich crushed one to lead off the second inning, out towards left center field. It was run down, though, by Matt Cook at the warning track. Check swing here. Did he go? Yes, says Paul Thompson. Quickly behind 0-2. Ferdon looking for his second 1-2-3 inning of the day. He's approaching 70 pitches now. 0-2. That'll bounce in. Darwich lays off. Team ERA for Wheaton, 4.21. Well above the Hopkins mark of 3.14. Fastball low, 2-2. Each team with a number of guys starting equally this year, I'd say. Liner towards the right side. Chris Ruocco fields it on one hop. And on to first base. It is Ferdon's second 1-2-3 inning of the day. We're through 4. Wheaton remains on top, 3-1. You're watching the 2017 Mid-Atlantic Regional Baseball Tournament.
This is our It's On Us pledge. It's on us to make a personal commitment to help keep all people safe from sexual assault, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, or ability.
Not to be bystanders to the problem, but to be leaders of the solution. We invite you to join us in this campaign by informing your campuses about the It's On Us mission.
All right, folks, here we go to the fifth. Just about an hour into this ball game. Probably the quickest moving ball game for each of these two teams this tournament. Lots of long ball games here through the 2.5 days. Preston Betts delivers low and away to Josh LaJoy. LaJoy a walk back in the first. Fielder's choice and an RBI in the second. This one's crushed to left field, but that one pulled foul and out of play. Smacked off that concrete wall down near the Blue Jay bullpen. Activity continues for the Blue Jays down there. It's the lefty John Donahue up and throwing. Still haven't seen him pitch for Hopkins in this regional. Betts not yet at 60 pitches. Had a clean fourth inning. Couple of fly ball outs and a pop-up. This one bounced left side to the third baseman Mike Smith. On to first base, one away, and is now 6 in a row retired. Matt Cook will stand in. Wheaton on top 3-1, coached by Eric Podbelski. They have him in a good spot in the winner's bracket. One win away from the championship round. Bouncing ball right side here. Eberle will charge, play the funny hop off the lip and get it to first base in time. Back-to-back bouncing ball outs, 2 away. Now Podbelski in his 21st season at the helm of Wheaton, their baseball program, hired back in 1998. Well, he took the Lions to the Division III College World Series, National Championship round back in 2012. That'll miss low to Sharkey, 1-0. Sharkey 2 for 2, the solo blast over the arch nemesis back in the third. Swing and a miss. Like a change up there maybe from Betts at 83. 1-1. This one grounded left side. Reynolds behind the bag at second, fields on one hop. Conlon can't pick it out. An errant throw by Connor Reynolds. Maybe his third or fourth of the tournament already. Should have been a 1-2-3 inning. Ends a stretch of 7 in a row retired by Betts. A throwing error by Reynolds, his 17th of the year. 4th error of the tournament. So Sharkey on for the third time. He's 2 for 3. Hopkins now 71 errors on the year. So they've committed 7 already in this regional. First pitch to Goodwin Boyd. At the letters for a strike. 0-1. Now Podbelski, by the way, one of the highest winning percentages among active NCAA Division III coaches. Entered this year with a .715 winning percentage. Runner takes off for second base. Here's a throw from Morgulevich. It is not in time. Sharkey slides into the tag. 29th stolen base for Wheaton this year. They don't run often. 29 for 38 in stolen base attempts. For Sharkey, that's his team-leading 10th stolen base. So over 33% of the team's total. 1-1 coming. Fouled back on the left side. Smacks off the facade club level. 1-2 the count. Late game tonight should be a good one. Alvernia, the 5 seed, taking on the 2-seeded Shenandoah. These two teams only playing one game today. It's just to determine who goes to the championship round at 3:30, who plays the winner of Shenandoah Alvernia at noon tomorrow. This one lined to short. Reynolds makes the grab, didn't have to move an inch. An error by Reynolds makes up for it, makes the final grab. Couple of groundouts in the inning. We're halfway home here at Peoples Bank Park. Wheaton leads Johns Hopkins 3-1. Bottom 5 here in New York. We are dealing with the cold weather, at least I expected, through the regional tournament. Seems to pop up around this time of May every year. Never fails. Mike Eberle will lead things off. First pitch to the freshman. Will miss a bit low and outside, 1-0. In between innings, the Hopkins assistant coaches pulled in the offense and talked things over to the guys, try to get them focused in, put some hits on the board. They have just 3 through 4. Count 2-0. Bottom third of the order for Hopkins this inning. Eberle, Tommy Mee, and John Hayden. Taking there. A fastball hits the knees for a strike. Ferdon now over 70 pitches. 2-1. Lifted in the air, foul, out of play, into the seats. The only starter in the regional so far Hopkins has really touched up was Leslie's Tom Muratori. They put up 11 runs on him on Thursday. This one, little blooper out towards center field. That one is falling, and coming in to make the grab, Matt Cook, the center fielder. Makes that one look easy. One away. Big outfield here at Peoples Bank Park. The outfielders seem to play a bit more shallow than they would anywhere else. Eberle 0 for 2 now on the day. Tommy Mee will stand in. Hit the ball hard his first at bat, but lined one right to the second baseman, Chris Ruocco. First pitch lines this one left side, and it's off the glove of the shortstop, Josh LaJoy. Tommy Mee will reach. That one should be a hit. Tough play for LaJoy. You don't want to give him a blemish for that one. We'll see what they rule it officially. John Hayden will stand in as we await that official call, but nonetheless, Tommy Mee on base. First base runner for Hopkins since Hayden in the third. Pitch outside here, 1-0. That one's going to be ruled an error on LaJoy. Wow, I was not expecting that. That's a tough play. I would definitely give him a hit there. This one fouled back to the screen. And the count goes to 1-1. So since it's an error, that's Wheaton's 62nd of the year. Move to first base. Tommy Mee is back in. For LaJoy, that's his team-leading 15th error this season. The only Lion with double-digit errors. 1-1. Hayden lifts one in the air to left field. Playable for Jared Sharkey. Shy of the warning track, he makes the grab. Now 2 down. Couple of fly ball outs inning in the air. Back to the top of the order we go. It's going to be Connor Reynolds. Well, Connor yesterday in the ball game became just the second Blue Jay to ever break 190 runs. He has 192 now after he scored a run, the only Blue Jay run today back in the first. He's now 4 shy of the program record, and that's a balk on Brady Furdon, immediately called by Paul Thompson. Looked like he tweaked his shoulder towards third base. And now out to argue that one is Eric Podbelski. That one an obvious balk, though, puts a Blue Jay base runner in scoring position. They trail by 2. If Tommy would score, it would be an unearned run as they charge the error to Josh LaJoy. Reynolds the double in the first. A ground out to Chris Ruocco. Back in the third inning, Ruocco made a nice play to rob Reynolds of a base hit. Lots of speed out at second base for Hopkins. First pitch to Reynolds. Low and inside, 1-0. The Blue Jay dugout quiet for the majority of this ball game, making quite a bit of noise now, the loudest they've been all day. "1-0 on the way. That'll miss. 2 balls and no strikes. Reynolds a dangerous hitter in a hitter's count here. But 42 walks on the year. He won't swing at bad pitches. Doesn't strike out often, just 9 strikeouts on the year, 1 in the tournament. Came yesterday in the first against Dylan Dunn, Alvernia's starter. Big hole on the right side for Reynolds. 2-0. Fastball, and just gets a piece. Stays at the plate, 2-1. Reynolds has been the guy for 4 years for Bob Babb to kickstart their offense. 4-year guy. Majority of his starts out of the leadoff spot. Once in a while out of the 3-hole. Spinning a look to second base, and that's a balk again. Another balk called on Brady Furdon. This time, Eric Podbelski staying in the first base side dugout. So Tommy Mee reaches on the error with 1 away, gets to second on a balk, now goes to third on a balk. Reynolds does have 1 home run this tournament. It came against Leslie, 9 on the year. Home run would tie the game up. Sure, he's just looking for a base hit here, though, to bring his team back within 1. Just got to inch back, slowly but surely. Lots of ball game left. 2-1. Slider. That'll miss low. Three balls and 1 strike to Connor Reynolds. Gets a fastball, 3-1 on the inside corner. Again, just gets a piece. It's rolled to the backstop. And now Don Miller needs some new baseballs. Three and two away, runner at third. Pitch to Reynolds. That'll miss low. Works his 43rd walk of the year. That'll bring up Ryan Lynn with men on the corners and 2 away. Doesn't get much easier with this lineup. By the way, the first walk issued by Furdon today, and just his 11th he's allowed this year in 66-plus innings. 67-plus innings, rather. Brian is 0 for 2 today, but he has 5 hits in the regional. First pitch. That's a strike. Gave him a fastball in the outside corner. Nice pitch. Lynn has a hit in 14 of his last 16 ball games. 15 career hits for him in this stadium. This one lined over towards short. Played on the short hop by LaJoy. He goes to second to get the force of Reynolds. And the inning is over. Ferdon works out of the jam. Couple of men on base, men on the corners. With 2 away and Hopkins cannot convert. Through 5, they continue to trail 3-1. Top of the 6th here at Peoples Bank Park. Harrison Swartz with you. 3-1 Wheaton. They're out hitting the Blue Jays 6-3. Preston Betts back out to work. He's gone 5 innings, thrown 66 pitches today, given up 3 runs, 2 earned. Of those 6 hits, the one that sticks out, the home run from Jared Sharkey to lead off the 3rd. Tyler Walsh stands in. He's hit by a pitch on the arm, and he heads down to first base. That's how the top of the 6th gets underway. Each of these 2 teams hit by pitches quite often this year. 51st time a Wheaton batter's been hit. Hopkins batters have been hit 68 times. In steps Nick Raposo, and that'll miss low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. There's still activity in the Hopkins pen. They've been up and throwing since the 3rd. 1-0. There's a called strike. 1-1. And they throw every time Preston Betts goes back out to throw, but when the Blue Jays are hitting, they take a seat. It's mainly been Harrison Folk and John Donahue up and throwing. Quick move to first base, and back in is Tyler Walsh. One coming in. Breaking ball hit out to center field. Tommy Mee in the gap, and left center is under it. Makes the grab. 1 gone. We mentioned earlier the winner of this game goes to the championship round tomorrow. That ball game scheduled to begin at 3:30. You get just under 24 hours of rest if you win this one, and you only have to win once to punch your ticket to Appleton. This one lifted high in the air, foul territory, and well out of the stadium. 0-1. So far, Wheaton has beaten the 6-seed Elizabethtown and the 2-seed Shenandoah. Hopkins, bit of an easier track, beating the 8-seed Leslie and the 5-seed Alvernia. Look to first base, no throw. Wheaton 25-14 on the year. They are 7-5 in neutral site games. How it'll miss? 1-1. So entering this tournament, they were a 500 ball club. in neutral contests. One. Breaking ball, that's in for a strike, 1-2. Santa Gate, a Dean's List honoree a couple of seasons. All academic in the conference in 2015. Behind here, 1-2. One away, man at first. There's a slider from Betts that'll miss low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Santa Gate, a couple of fly ball outs today. 2 hits in the tournament. Move to first base again. Betts has gone over that way 2 or 3 times. Lights are on now here at Peoples Bank Park. Haven't really taken effect yet. It'll be a while. Another move to first base. Betts very concerned with Tyler Walsh. Walsh is 1 for 2 in stolen bases this year, if that's what Betts is concerned about. Trying to keep him close. Pitch coming home here will miss low and away. It had been a while since he looked towards the plate. Now the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Another move to first base. Santa Gate, a graduate of St. Joseph by the Sea in Staten Island, New York. 4-year starter and letter winner on the baseball team. Payoff pitch coming. Lifted in the air. This one should stay in the ballpark, maybe not. Trailing out of play. Conlon runs out of real estate that one about 4 or 5 rows deep. New life for Santa Gate. There's a Catholic High School Athletic Association batting title champion in 2012. Now a senior catcher for Wheaton. Battling here with Betts. 3-2 on the way. Lifted in the air out to center field. Me is over, makes the grab, and Santa Gate 0 for 3 has the trifecta with fly ball outs. 1 to left, 1 to center, and 1 to right. 2 away. Back to back. Fly balls out towards Tommy Me after the hit batter. It'll bring Willie Boyd to the dish. And that's going to do it for Preston Betts. To the bullpen, Bob Babb goes. Coming in will be the lefty, John Donahue. Come in to face the lefty, Willie Boyd. We'll take a short break. Introduce Donahue when we return to Peoples Bank Park. Well, John Donahue will be the new Johns Hopkins pitcher. He's on his first regional roster, the sophomore, appearing in his first NCAA regional contest. 13th appearance this year, an ERA of 1.80. He's 3-0 with a save. That lone save came on April 23rd at Ursinus College. Through just a third of an inning in the conference tournament, he's been Bob Babb's lefty specialist out of the pen this year, just one of 3 lefties on the pitching staff. The other 2, Nick Burns and Alex Ross. He'll face Willie Boyd here with 1 on, 2 away. He goes to first base to begin his outing. Walsh back in. Just 10 innings pitched all year. 13 strikeouts, 5 walks. Another move to first base, and again, Walsh is back in. Preston Betts today throws 77 pitches, goes 5 2/3, gives up 6 hits, 2 strikeouts, and a walk. Curveball here will miss. Donahue, a native of Staten Island, New York. A couple of Staten Island natives playing in this game today, the other one being Joey Santagate, who was the last batter to face Preston Betts. 1-0. That's there for a strike on the heater at 81. A graduate of Tottenville High School. He did not appear in one ball game his freshman year. One. Another curveball. This one will miss. He's made 7 of his 13 appearances away from home. Another move to first base, and it's an errant throw. It gets away from Conlon and heads over towards the Wheaton bullpen. Down to second base goes Tyler Walsh. Now a man in scoring position for Willie Boyd. He goes over 3 times, and the third time he throws it away. Donahue's allowed just 2 earned runs all year. Both came on Hopkins' spring trip in Fort Myers. One to Old Westbury, the other to Vassar College. So it's 11 consecutive appearances not allowing an earned run. Two one on the way. Curveball will miss. 3-1. He's thrown 3 curveballs out of the zone to Willie Boyd. His lone fastball hit the outer edge. Now Boyd in a hitter's count. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. Single and the run came back in the second. That 2-run second for the Lions. There's a curveball, it'll miss. 5-pitch walk from Donahue, and down to first base goes Boyd. Now Chris Ruocco will stand in. Ruocco, the righty, stands in with 2 on, 2 away. Big spot for him. He's 1 for 2. 1 RBI shy of 20 this year. Donahue, a curveball that'll miss. All 5 of his curveballs have missed the strike zone. Maybe some first-time regional jitters. Needs to get over that quickly. That was just the 6th walk that Donahue's allowed this year. 1-0 coming. There's a fastball, and it's fouled back to the screen. That one at 83. It's about where he'll stay. Low 80s, maybe 83, 84 he'll top out at. Top of the order on deck for Wheaton. You don't want to face Josh LaJoy with men on if you're Johns Hopkins. 1-1 bounced foul over towards the Blue Jay dugout. And now Donahue a strike away from getting out of this jam. He's responsible for the man on first, Preston Betts. No final line on him yet because he's responsible for Tyler Walsh, a batter he hit to lead off the inning. And now time called at the plate. Danger awaits. Donahue looking to retire the 9-batter, Ruaco. 1-2 coming. Check swing. Did he go? No, and that ball gets away from Orgalevich to the backstop, and now there's 2 men in scoring position. Walsh to third, Boyd to second. Now time called. Home plate umpire Dan Miller gets a fresh set of baseballs. Ruaco 3 for 8 in the regional. But a nice bat for Wheaton out of the 9-hole. 2-2 coming. Curveball. Just missing a bit low. That was close. Donahue thought he had it. 3-2. Big pitch coming up. Deep breath. He comes home. 3-2. And he'll walk him. Back-to-back walks from John Donahue. And the bases are loaded for Wheaton. And probably their most dangerous hitter in Josh LaJoy. Looking into the Blue Jay dugout, no sign of Bob Babb. It looks like this is Donahue's batter. I think he took a glance in towards the dugout himself. LaJoy, 0 for 2 with an RBI and a walk today. First pitch, low and in. It skips away from Orgalevich. A run is going to score. Wheaton takes a 4-1 lead. Only Donahue has not been good. Struggling to find the zone. 2 balls that have gotten away from Orgalevich now. And still 2 men in scoring position for Josh LaJoy. And that's going to prompt a mound visit from Hopkins pitching coach Ryan Graves. He needs to go out and talk to him and try to calm him down. Donahue was very animated after that ball skipped away from Ryan. It's been his curveball that he hasn't been able to locate. The fastball's been there. It was just the Wheaton batters were not able to time them up, just getting a piece to stay alive. Cold, chilly night here in York, PA. The crowd definitely nowhere near as animated for either side as they were yesterday. Much warmer out. Everyone's a bit looser. People trying to stay huddled up and stay warm. Now, by the way, a good game going on in Danville, Virginia. Bottom of the ninth, Rowan and Salisbury tied 6-6. Salisbury in this ballgame once trailed 5-2. Want to know the count to Josh LaJoy. Line to left field. Hayden coming in. And down to 2 knees, he makes the grab. The inning is over. Oh boy, LaJoy stroked it. Couldn't find a gap. That one falls. 2 more runs come in to score for Wheaton. Well, Donahue comes in, limits the damage to just 1. That final run is charged to Preston Betts. He gives up 4 runs, 3 earned today. After 5.5, your score, Wheaton 4, Johns Hopkins 1. You're watching the 2017 Mid-Atlantic Regional Baseball Tournament. All right, the home team coming to bat here in the 6th inning. Mike Smith, Ryan Orgalevich, Joe Conlon. Heart of the Blue Jay lineup. First pitch to Mike Smith. In there for a strike. 0-1. Jays now trail 4-1. In that inning, 2 walks and a hit batter. Not one hit, and Wheaton brings in a run. Ground ball left side. Shortstop Josh LaJoy fields it cleanly. Easy play for him. 6-3 put out. Mike Smith is 0 for 3. Brady Ferdon, long wait for him in between innings. Let's see how he responds to that. So far, so good in the inning. He's approaching 90 pitches. He's at 88. Going to face maybe the most dangerous hitter in the tournament now in Ryan Orgalevich. First pitch, breaking ball will miss low. That one looked good. 1-0. Orgalevich, the RBI double back in the first, brought in the only Blue Jay run. Now a very late appeal down to first base, and first base umpire Paul Thompson says Ryan did not go. Puts this one up foul and out of play right side. 1-1, 1 away. A final in Syracuse. Ithaca beat TC&J 9-4. Orgalevich watches one miss outside here. 2-1. Concordia on top of Centenary. Down in the West Regional, 4-2. In the top of the 5th in an elimination game. Orgalevich a ground ball to the shortstop LaJoy. On to first base, 2 away. Back-to-back ground balls to LaJoy. And Ferdon looking for another quick inning. He's retired the Blue Jays in order twice today. An inning ago, the Blue Jays had a big spot down at that point 3-1. Tommy Mee was at third base, and they had Connor Reynolds at first. Brian Lynn stood in and hit into a fielder's choice to end the inning. Wheaton's left 6 men on base today. Hopkins have left 4. Big swing and a miss from Joe Conlon, 0-1. That's your score. Wheaton 4, Johns Hopkins 1. Here comes the 0-1. That one will miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Conlon an 0 for 2 today. A fly ball out to left in the first, hit it hard. And in the 4th, struck out looking on a fastball that hit the inside corner. This one upstairs at 82. Now Ferdon's lost just a little bit of velocity as he reaches probably close to the end of his rope. Still no activity in the Wheaton pen. This one hits the inside corner to Conlon, shakes his head in disagreement. Now turns around and has a question for Dan Miller. Wonder what he's asking him. Probably about the strike zone. Definitely about the strike zone. 2-2 from the windup. Ferdon brings it home. Up and away, 3-2. Conlon looking for his first hit today. Trying to record one coming off that career-high 4-hit performance last night. Ground ball right here, won't happen. Second baseman, though, bobbled. Chris Rocco has it go right between his legs. Might have hit off his glove and went right through the wickets and into right field. That'll be an error on him, the second Wheaton error of the game, and another sloppy one defensively here in York. 5 combined errors in this one. Hopkins and Alvernia last night combined for 8 errors. Alvernia 5 and Hopkins had 3. Alex Starwich stands in, 0 for 2. Big curveball there, in for a strike. This one low and inside to Darwich. Count evens up 1-1. Hit the ball hard earlier. Looking to do so again here and find a gap. He doubled in the 9th inning last night with his teammate Tim Kutcher at first base. Nobody out. Inside again, 2-1. And he was ultimately the game-tying run. Made it a 9-9 ball game. 2-1. Darwich bounces it foul. I mentioned earlier, Ferdon had quite the interesting delivery to the plate. He kind of leans over towards third base and then comes home like he's stepping towards you if you're a right-handed batter. Stepping away from you, of course, if you're a lefty. Seems to have thrown the Blue Jay offense off today, recording just 3 hits. This one, a bouncer off the leg of Darwich, immediately called by Dan Miller. Four to 1, Wheaton on top. The 3 seed looking to advance to the championship round. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-2 coming home, and that one's upstairs, 3-2. Now at 104 pitches. On deck, Mike Eberly, the freshman. Bottom third of the order. Payoff pitch, runner takes off. Darwich fouls it straight back. Now the Blue Jays have not recorded a hit since the 3rd inning. Again, 2 of their 3 coming in the 1st, the other one in the 3rd. But they've made Ferdon work for those outs today. Betts gave up more runs, the Blue Jays starter, but was a bit more efficient with his pitch count. Runner again takes off, and the pitch misses outside to Darwich. What an at-bat there by the junior DH. Works his way on. Now back-to-back men reach with 2 away. Second free pass issued by Ferdon this evening. Let's see what the freshman can do now, Mike Eberly. He's 0 for 2. Has a short 3-game hit streak going on, 6 for 15 with 4 runs scored over that stretch. And now the Wheaton bullpen gets up and moving. It's Zach Pippa heading down to the pen, a freshman from Rumford, Rhode Island. He begins to throw as head coach Eric Podbelski comes out. In the top of the 3rd, up in Harwich, UMass Boston, the 1 seed, on top of Suffolk, 10-0. In the Midwest Regional, top-seeded Whitewater in an elimination game, scoreless in the top of the 5th with St. Thomas. DePaul on top of Worcester in the bottom of the 4th, 3-0. That would be a huge upset. Meeting over. Here's the first pitch to Eberly. Grounded, left side, third baseman Willie Boyd Field steps on the bag. 1 pitch after the meeting. The inning ends. A fielder's choice. They get Conlin, the lead man. We're through 6. Hopkins has left 6 on, as has Wheaton. 4-1, Lions on top here at Peoples Bank Park.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
Top of the 7th. Matt Cook will get things started for the Lions. John Donahue back out to work. First pitch, a fastball there for a strike at the knees. Donahue came in relief for Preston Betts, walked a couple of batters, and then Josh LaJoy stroked one to left field, but it hung up for John Hayden, and the inning ended. This one hit out towards center field. Tommy Mee was playing in. He backpedals and is under it for the first out. So Matt Cook 0 for 4 on the day. Jared Sharkey been on base 3 times today. He's 2 for 3. A home run back in the 3rd, a single in the 1st. Reached on the error by Connor Reynolds in the 5th and stole a base. This one lined to left field, and Sharkey has a 3-hit day. That one's going to roll to the arch nemesis, gets past John Hayden. He's going to speed into second base with a 1-out double. Jumps on a first pitch fastball. Sharkey is locked in today. He's now a triple shy of the cycle. He's got both Lions extra base hits today. That's their 89th double this year. And I'll bring up Zach Goodwin-Boyd. Lefty-lefty battle here. I've gotten a lot of questions this week about the Lions and how they spell it. They spell it with a Y, Lyons. This one's grounded into right field. There's a base hit. Sharkey being held up at third. Lynn gets that one back in quickly. Right now, Donahue just not effective today. A couple of hits, a couple of walks. But the reason they spell it Lyons is the use of the nickname. It can be traced as far back as the early 1980s when Wheaton was serving as a leading college for women and athletics. They sponsored just 8 varsity programs then, now up to 21. The nickname honors Mary Lyon, a pioneer in American education who acted as a consultant to the Wheaton family at the founding of the seminary in 1834. So that's why they are the Lions, Lyons, not the Lions, Lions. Orgalevich and Conlon, a couple of seniors, go out to calm down the sophomore, pitching in his first ever NCAA regional game. Men on the corners, one away for the Lions. By the way, Zach Goodwin-Boyd has himself a 2 for 4 day now, and that's going to do it for Donahue. A stalling tactic to give the bullpen some time to get ready. Bob Babb is out. The head coach makes the call to the pen. We will get our third Blue Jay pitcher of the ball game. They will inherit a tough situation, and it's going to be the sophomore Harrison Folk making his second appearance of the tournament. We'll take a short break and come right back, introduce Harrison from Peoples Bank Park. Harrison Folk becomes the third Blue Jay pitcher of the day, replacing John Donahue, who lasts just 2/3 of an inning. He gives up 2 hits, walks a couple of hits in the inning, the Sharkey double, the Goodwin Boyd single. That's who's on base. Men on the corners, 1 away. Tyler Walsh stands in. 0 for 2 with a strikeout, hit by a pitch, came in to score. First pitch from Harrison Folk will miss low, 1-0. Folk threw 3 innings on Thursday against Leslie. Took yesterday off. Gave up a couple hits and an unearned run in that contest. Struck out 3. Blue Jays won 15-2. Third to first move there. No throw from Folk. Donahue responsible for both men on base. Another third to first move this time. They nearly got Goodwin Boyd over at first base. He just gets back in. Walsh it into the double play back in the third. 6-4-3 twin killing. Erased what could have been a big inning. Low and inside here, 2-0. Folk, a graduate of Dallas Jesuit High School, the Texas native. Big arsenal of pitches, 5 different pitches he can throw. 4-seamer, 2-seamer, and again a third to first move. Not overpowering stuff. It'll come in about mid-80s. But it's a nice couple of breaking pitches he can use. That one will miss low and inside. 3-0. Folk actually entered the ball game for Alex Ross in relief in that Leslie game on Thursday afternoon. In the middle of an at-bat, there's a 3-0 count, and he struck out the batter on 3 pitches, and here he's going to walk Walsh on 4. He's on base for the second time today, and Wheaton has the bases loaded. So each of the 2 relief pitchers Bob Babb has brought in today, John Donahue and Harrison Folk, have walked the first batter they faced. And if you go back to the starter, Preston Betts, he walked the first batter he faced, Josh LaJoy, to begin the ball game. Sharkey at third, Goodwin Boyd at second, Walsh at first. Nick Raposo stands in. Mike Smith at third base is in. That'll miss 1-0. 5 straight out of the zone from Folk. Wheaton the opportunity here to really blow this lead open. 1-0 is in for the first strike we've seen from Folk today. Double play ball ends the inning. The only out in the inning so far. The fly ball off the bat of Matt Cook to center field. Since then, 3 straight men have reached. 1-1. Lifted in the air out towards left center. That is trouble. That's in the gap and to the wall. Sharkey's going to score. Right behind him, Goodwin Boyd. It's a 2 RBI double, and Wheaton leads 6-1. Now they can feel it in the 7th inning. Now it's going to be 3 innings to go for them to knock down the top-seeded Johns Hopkins Blue Jays and the number 2 team in the country. If Hopkins plans on coming back, they'll have to come from behind, down 5, 2 consecutive days. RBIs 31 and 32 for Raposo as Joe Santagate stands in now. Now the entire infield in for the Hopkins Blue Jays. First pitch from Folk. That's in for a strike on the inside corner. By the way, both of those runs are charged to Donahue. Both are earned, so in 2/3 of an inning today, Donahue gives up 2 earned runs. 0-1 will bounce in, blocked by Orgalevich. A run came in to score for Wheaton earlier on a ball that got past the catcher. Santagate has put the ball up in the air to the outfield 3 times today. 1 to left, 1 to center, 1 to right. They've all been caught. He's 0 for 3. 1-1. line foul. Look out just beyond the Blue Jay dugout. And now Folk ahead 1-2. That one ricocheted so hard off the wall beyond the Blue Jay dugout, and it went out to John Hayden in left field. That ball was ripped. Six to 1 Wheaton. They've scored 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the sixth, and 2 more in the seventh. Outfield playing a bit shallow here. Here's the pitch. Bounced foul outside the bag at third. Smacking off the metal bench down in the Blue Jay pen. Santagate playing in his 38th game of this season today, a new career high for him. He's played in at least 21 games in each of his 4 seasons for the Lions. Folk from the stretch. 1-2. Popped him up, right side. Foul ground. The first baseman, Joe Conlon, is there. And he'll make the grab in the palm of his glove. Nearly popped out. Big second out for Folk and the Blue Jays. Now 2 away. So Santagate, for the first time today, cannot put a ball off the bat to the outfield. He's 0 for 4, though. Willie Boyd stands in. He's had himself a nice day at the plate. Singled and scored back in the second. Hit the ball hard out to center field in the fourth, then walked in the sixth. This one will bounce in from Folk, and now he's struggling to find the zone today. Donahue and Folk have really made Morgalevich work. Wheaton looking to extend their win streak against the Blue Jays today to 4 games. Ground ball right side, this should do it. Eberle fields it cleanly, on to first base. And the inning is over. But Wheaton adds on 2 more. 6 unanswered runs since they've fallen behind 1-0 in the first. Stretch time here at Peoples Bank Park. Wheaton on top of Johns Hopkins, 6-1. All right, folks, enough stretching. You got warm here. Back to baseball. Harrison Swartz with you here. Thanks for sticking around with us. Wheaton looking to pull off the upset. They're up 6-1. First pitch to Tommy Mee from Ferdon, lifted high in the air out to deep left center field. Going back is Sharkey. He's called off by Matt Cook. They collide, embrace one another, and make the grab. Tommy Mee gives it a ride on the first pitch and just misses a home run by about 5 or 6 feet. 1 away. Well, the Blue Jay offense today has been kept quiet by Brady Ferdon. He's now at 108 pitches. And he faces the 9 batter now, John Hayden. First pitch, up and in, 1-0. And Hopkins has been held to 3 hits in this one after last night. They strung out 13 the day before that. 1 shy of their season high of 20. 1-0 coming in. Fouled out of play on the left side. 1-1. Up for back-to-back days, Hopkins has those double-digit runs, 15 on Thursday, 13 yesterday. It's the 3rd time this year they've done that, scored double-digit runs back-to-back days, but they have not done it 3 consecutive times all season. There's a called strike. John Hayden in the Blue Jay dugout, not very big fans of that call. Looked to be a bit upstairs, but Dan Miller calls it strike 2. And now Hayden behind of Ferdon. This one lifted in the air out to left field. Sharkey is under it. Makes the grab. Back-to-back fly ball outs, 2 away. John Hayden, second time going out Sharkey's way today. He's 1 for 3. In steps the man that has 1 of 3 Blue Jay hits. Connor Reynolds, 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. He lifts this one in the air. In the infield, shortstop Josh LaJoy is under it. He wants it. He makes the grab. Reynolds going on 1 pitch, and it's a 1-2-3 7th for Brady Ferdon and Wheaton. We head to the 8th, 6-1, Lions on top of the Jays. Chris Ruaco will start off the top of the 8th. Harrison Folk on the mound. Harrison Swartz with you on the air. First pitch. Foul to play on the right side. 0-1. Ruaco, and then back to the top of the order for the 5th time today for the Lions. Josh LaJoy on deck, and then Matt Cook. Ruaco's been on twice today, singled and walked. High bouncer here. Connor Reynolds waits for it. Strong throw. It's picked out by Joe Conlon, and we have 1 away. Nice play there. Tough one for Reynolds. For the 2nd time today, Conlon saves his shortstop from a throwing error. So Ruaco is 1 for 3. Well, Blue Jay pitching today hasn't been extremely effective, but they've held Josh LaJoy hitless. This one bounced foul outside the bag at 3rd. 0-1, and that's impressive, keeping the team leader without a hit. He has been on twice today. He walked in the first at bat of the ball game, and then came up, hit into a fielder's choice in the 2nd, picked up an RBI. This one bounced right side. Eberle to his right, on to first base for 3. 2 gone. Now, if Hopkins continues to trail here, wouldn't be surprised if Bob Babb keeps his sophomore righty Harrison Folk out on there on the mound to save the rest of his arms for tomorrow. First pitch to Cook. Bunt shown. It's laid down left side. Orgalevich will field. Strong throw. Not in time. Matt Cook shows off the speed and picks up his first hit via a bunt today. So Matt Cook picks up his 4th hit of the regional. He's now 1 for 5 on the evening. It'll bring up the dangerous Jared Sharkey. But you want to save those bullpen arms if you're Hopkins. Assuming you lose this game, first pitch to Sharkey will hit for a strike. Assuming you lose this game, you'll have to work your way back into the winner's bracket by playing the winner of Shenandoah, Alvernia tomorrow at noon. If you win that, you go to the championship. Here's a move to first base, and back in is Cook. If you get to the championship, you have to win twice then out of the loser's bracket. 0-1. Off the end of the bat, bouncing ball to Eberle. Second baseman goes to first, and the inning is over. 2-out bunt single from Matt Cook. Not much else going on. 3 groundouts in the inning, 1 to shortstop, 2 to second base. We head to the home half of the 8th. Wheaton on top, 6-1 here at Peoples Bank Park. Well, today the chilly weather has cooled down the Hopkins bats. Just 3 hits through 7 innings. This inning is key for them. Down 5, 6-1. It's going to be Brian Lynn, Mike Smith, Ryan Orgalevich, 2, 3, and 4 in their order, against Brady Ferdon, who's over 110 pitches. First pitch, Brian Lynn, ground ball up the middle, diving stop by Ruocco, on to first, not in time. Ruocco down and slow to get up, but he seems to be okay. Now looking at his wrist, shaking it off. Have to wonder if he might have hurt himself right there. So Brian Lynn on base, the first Blue Jay hit since the 3rd inning. Now Mike Smith. Mike 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts today. First pitch, swing and a miss. Probably swung at ball 1. That one looked to be low and in. Brian Lynn being held on at first base by Tyler Walsh. Pitch to Mike, a fastball low. Mike has been on base 8 times in the previous 2 games. Ground ball left side here, could be 2. Boyd to Ruocco to first. 5-4-3 double play, and now that leadoff single erased very quickly. 34th double play turned by Wheaton this year, 22nd Hopkins hit into. Huge double play because now Ryan Orgalevich stands in with nobody on base. Two down. Ferdon looking to get through 8. Pitch to Ryan. Fastball swung on and missed. 0-1. Hopkins has just not found a groove today. You don't want to count them out after their comeback yesterday and all these comeback wins during their win streak, but it's not looking good. 0-1. Line to right field. That one is down for a hit. Orgalevich, a 2-for-4 day. Both hits gone the opposite way. 2 hits in the inning. Only one man on to show for it, though. I'll bring up Joe Conlon. Hopkins looks for a little 2-out rally here. For the Blue Jays, you want to try to get at least a run or 2 here in the 8th inning, so you don't have to go all out in the 9th. Swing and a miss here, 0-1. They did put up a 6 spot in the 9th inning yesterday against Alvernia. They were only down 2, though. Oh, 1 from Ferdon. Right there for strike 2. Looks like the Wheaton bullpen is ready if need be. Head coach Eric Podbelski, has looked down that way a couple of times this inning. 0-2, fastball low and away. Now velocity way down for Ferdon on that fastball. That hit at 79. 122 pitches for him. 1-2. Grounded right side. There's a base hit. 3 hits in the inning. Now 2 on for Hopkins with 2 away. No movement in the Wheaton dugout as of now. Alex Darwich will stand in. Looks like they'll keep Ferdon in. Darwich. Today 0 for 3. Bounced foul. I beg your pardon, he's 0 for 2 with a walk. Had a nice at bat in the 6th inning against Ferdon. Fell behind, battled with him. Long at bat. He got the walk on a 3-2 pitch. The 2 earlier winners featured a couple of complete game performances. Look out, that one up and in. 1-1. Now this is where it gets tricky pitching-wise. You have to try to use your starters as long as you can go. The Hopkins bullpen, it almost seems, has been overused with their starters not going very far. Darwich hits one high and deep to center field. Back is Matt Cook. He's called off by Zach Goodwin-Boyd, and the right fielder makes the grab. And for the 3rd time today, Hopkins leaves at least 2 men on base. They've left 8 on through 8. We head to the 9th inning. Wheaton leads 6-1. All right, folks, here we go. Top 9, Wheaton in control. They lead 6-1. First pitch to Goodwin Boyd. That will miss inside, 1-0. Goodwin Boyd, then Tyler Walsh and Nick Raposo against Harrison Folk. 1-0. Hits him. That hit him. And it did not look like Goodwin Boyd moved an inch to avoid being hit with that pitch. In the game prior, they had a batter called back for not moving, but Dan Miller sends Goodwin Boyd right down to first base. He's on base for the third time today. Tyler Walsh will stand in now. Walsh has scored today, been on base twice. Big swing and a miss there. 0-1. Folk brought in a changeup, had him fooled. Walsh expecting fastball. Another big cut. And again, Walsh comes up empty. 0-2. Hit into a double play back in the third. Struck out against Preston Betts all the way back in the first. Preston Betts would be on the hook for a loss. It would be his second of the year if Hopkins can't come back. Now Folk steps off and wants signs from his catcher again. John Donahue came in relief for Hopkins. Gave up 2 earned runs in just 2/3 of an inning. This one just gets a piece, taps it foul on the left side, and skips into the stands. A couple of rows deep. It would definitely be a weird feeling for Hopkins and their fans to see them lose. They haven't lost a ball game since April the 8th. That's the last time they lost. It was a road game at Muhlenberg. They lost that one 6-4. They've only lost 6 times this year. Now it'll miss low. The Hopkins lost twice before their spring trip. They lost 3 times on their spring trip, going 8-3, and they've lost just once since. Now Walsh goes down swinging. 1 away in the 9th. First strikeout for Harrison Folk. Nick Raposo will stand in. And in each of those 6 losses this year for Hopkins, their largest margin of defeat was just 3 runs. There's a called strike, 0-1, and the only 2 times that's happened was an 11-8 loss to Worcester down in Fort Myers. And at home on opening day, they had a doubleheader split with St. John Fisher. They won the first game 3-2 and then lost game 2 5-2. Reynolds to second for 1. Relay. Conlon keeps his foot on the bag. A 6-4-3 double play. The 41st double play turn by Hopkins this year and their second of the day. Well, they head back to the dugout with 1 goal in mind. They need 5 runs at least. 6 to win. Long road ahead of them. They trail 6-1. With 3 outs to go, Wheaton looking for the upset. Joe Bongiovanni is the new pitcher for Wheaton. Needs 3 outs to send his team to the championship round in the winner's bracket. They'll get some time off, and they'll play the second game tomorrow, needing just 3 wins to punch a ticket to Appleton. Hopkins trying to avoid their first loss since April 8th. Mike Eberly, Tommy Mee, John Hayden, bottom third of the Blue Jay lineup. Mike Eberly bats from the right side here. Little blooper to center field. It's going to fall in right in between Josh LaJoy and Matt Cook. 7th hit for Johns Hopkins. What an outing today, though, by Brady Furdon. 8 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 run, 4 strikeouts, and just 2 walks. He's in line for his 5th win. He'd improved to 5-2. Tommy Mee stands in. Just missed a home run his last time up. Flew out to the wall in left center field. Matt Cook ran that one down. Pitch here, foul tipped and gets away from the catcher, Joe Santagate. 0-1. Joe Bongiovanni. What a name that is. A junior southpaw from Johnston, Rhode Island. Stands at 5'8", 180. A 3.41 ERA with 21 strikeouts. A 3-0 record with 3 saves this year. Here comes the 0-1. Big curveball lifted in the air out towards right center field. That ball is caught on the run by Zach Goodwin Boyd. What a grab by the right fielder. Tommy Mee thought he found a gap. Goodwin Boyd runs it down, falls to the field, tumbles, and fires it back in. 1 away. Pinch hitter here for John Hayden's going to be Tim Kutcher. Bob Babb wants a righty to face the lefty Bongiovanni. Kutcher came in last night as a pinch hitter, was hit by a pitch lead off the bottom of the 9th inning, or top of the 9th, rather, against Alvernia. And he ultimately came in to score. Hopkins looking for 2 straight days of magic. Double play depth for Wheaton. First pitch to Kutcher. Fouled back on the right side. 0-1. Bongiovanni appearing in his 16th game this year. He's made 1 start. He pitched on Thursday against Elizabethtown, going 1 inning, giving up a hit, and picking up the save. 0-1. Right there for strike 2. Kutcher couldn't take the bat off the shoulder. That was a nice pitch to drive, and he knew it. That save on Thursday for Bongiovanni was his first since April 17th against Nichols. The other one came on April 2nd at Southern Maine. Kutcher lifts this one foul on the right side and out of play. So this would be, if the score stays the same, the largest margin of defeat for Johns Hopkins this year. You'd have to imagine they couldn't be too worried about it, just because the last time they lost, they strung together 21 wins. It will be tough to defeat any team twice, though, in back-to-back days, as Kutcher again fouls it out of play on the right side. Wheaton, as we have seen all tournament, has a solid offense. They've put up 8 runs twice, 6 more today. And, of course, they've got a solid pitching staff. When you get near the end, though, your only concern is who's available and how long are they available for. 0-2 to Kutcher. Way inside, backs him off the plate. Top of the order on deck for Hopkins. The disappointing thing for Hopkins, though, last inning they recorded 3 hits, couldn't get a run across. It was their first inning recording a hit since the 3rd. They had the leadoff single from Brian Lynn, immediately erased on the double play, and then back-to-back hits, followed by a fly ball out to end the frame. This one popped up right side, foul ground. Tyler Walsh is over, and he'll make a basket grab in front of the bullpen chairs for out number 2. Tim Kutcher, 0 for 1 in his lone plate appearance. And then earlier, of course, for Hopkins, you gave up a run without allowing a hit. They've left 8 men on base today. Wheaton, they had more opportunities. They could definitely be up bigger than 5. They've left 9 men on base and a number in scoring position. Connor Reynolds stands in, the final hope for Hopkins today. First pitch, right there at the knees for a strike. 0-1. Hopkins would await the winner of Shenandoah and Alvernia. Is it going to be the top 2 seeds tomorrow? Or is it a rematch of last night's contest between Hopkins and Alvernia? 0-1 coming. Popped up foul and back out of play, and now Hopkins down to their final strike. The cold weather seems as though it's affected Hopkins today, not Wheaton. Wheaton fell behind 1-0, immediately bounced back and never looked back. 0-2 again. Popped up right side. That one is back into the seats. Walsh gave about 3 or 4 steps and then stopped in his tracks. By the way, final in Danville, Virginia. Salisbury came back once again. They were down 7-6 against Rowan, walked it off in extra innings to stay alive. They won 8-7. So the top seed in the South remains for one more day. 0-2 to Reynolds. Reaches for this one and fouls it back. And we talked earlier, we thought before the game, the only 2 number 1 seeds in regionals that had not lost yet were UMass Boston and Johns Hopkins. Hopkins, of course, not looking good here, down to their final strike. UMass Boston on top of Suffolk, 11-2. 0-2 to Reynolds again. Hit one high in the air, deep left field. This could do it. Matt Cook is under it. He makes the grab, and the ball game is over. Wheaton is off to the championship round. Hopkins loses for the first time since April 8th. Wheaton wins this one 6-1. Out hits Hopkins 10-7. Another sloppy game defensively. Wheaton commits 2 errors. Hopkins commits 3. Now Hopkins, the top seed in the Mid-Atlantic Regional, will have to come back tomorrow, play the 12 o'clock game, again against the winner of Shenandoah Alvernia, who plays in about an hour from now. And then whoever wins that one will move on to face Wheaton once again. Wheaton, though, now just 1 win away from Appleton. Looking to make it back there for the first time since 2012. Winning pitcher today, Brady Furdon, goes 8 innings, gives up 6 hits, 1 run. He's now 5-2. Losing pitcher, Preston Betts, goes 5 2/3, gives up 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He is now 5-2 as well. That'll do it for Game 3 today. Game 4, Shenandoah Alvernia up in about an hour. Stick around for that. We'll see you back here then.